Hello and welcome to this May 2025 HO scale product review. What you see before you is a Tyco 60-foot double door boxcar. As I said, this is a Tyco. This is, as you can tell, not only is it a train set type car, but it is an older car, which again, if you've been in the hobby for more than a few minutes, you know that Tyco is a brand that no longer exists. While it's not, as highly regarded as, say, Lionel in collector circles, there are some people out there that do appreciate these older style trains and do collect them. For most of them, it is a nostalgia type thing. They played with Tyco trains when they were a kid coming up. Or for others, it's simply, they're cool little trains that can be acquired at rock bottom prices. They're not super desirable or collectible, therefore they are very easy to get a hold of for next to nothing. In my case, it is simply it's as simple as it was cheap, it was available, and it fills a need on my railroad. Now, at some point, this car may or may not be, retired, or it may stay on the active roster for years and years to come. As you can see, this piece of rolling stock is lettered for the Union Pacific Railroad's automated railway cushion load paint job. Even though it has the cushion load lettering here, it does not have the simulated cushion drawbars like some of the rolling stock on the railroad does. For those of you that don't know, when you see a train stretch out and bunch up, and you hear the banging of the couplers stretching out, that's the slack. That's the slack. So a normal drawbar has about for both sides of the joint, there's about 3 to 4 foot of slack. A cushioned drawbar is a lengthened drawbar, which the drawbar is basically the long shaft that the coupler is connected to. That's the entire assembly of the shaft the coupler itself is connected to, plus the mounting brackets to the freight car. A cushion drawbar has extra space and is spring loaded to help absorb some of those in-train forces. Because if you've seen train cars couple up, or you've seen a train start pulling after it made a sudden stop, then you hear the violent chain reaction of the train stretching out. So that is what this is referring to as the cushioned load. You can see that the lettering and the decal on the Union Pacific Herald here is a little faded, and the decal here for the automated railway decal is a little faded, as are these excess car height placards here, but that's okay, it still does what it needs to do. The paint along the roof and the car ends and the car body itself is still in good shape. All of the load and weight capacity information here and here is legible. You can see that it's got cast on about a half height ladder and stirrup step here, oversized stirrup step, as well as a full height ladder and stirrup step on this corner, again cast on to the body. There is some fairly decent rivet detailing along the sides of the car to simulate the individual body panels of the car, and the doors are cast onto the body of the car so they don't open. You have some decent detailing with all the latch and bar mechanisms, the camshell lock mechanisms here. and the door rails are cast onto the body as well. Now you can see these little black rectangles here. Those are the tabs. Those are the locking tabs. The car frame and floor is held onto the body with these 4 press fit tabs here. Alright, this is the best I can get my camera to zoom in on the trucks. You can see, hopefully maybe, you have frictionless bearing type trucks with the little journal cover cap. You do have some nicely done spring detailing here. Not that you can see it all that well. And these are plastic trucks. This car still has plastic wheels. I haven't been able to change out the wheels on it yet. But there again, as I said in the previous video, for me, interoperability as far as the couplers go was far more important to me than changing out plastic wheels that for the moment work just fine. You can see there the Katie coupler right here that I installed on this freight car. I didn't have to do anything crazy or super, different with this. I used just some regular Katie Tyco coupler adapters rather, to install the Kadies to the original truck mounted coupler boxes. So this car does still have plastic wheels, and it is still a truck mounted, still a car with truck mounted couplers. Here we are looking at the B end of the car, and you can see here this is the handbrake assembly cast onto the body of the car, as well as a little walkway here, and you even have some polling pockets molded into the corners of the car. You can see the Katie coupler there that I installed. You have this cast on grab iron and handrail all the way across and down the other side over there, a waybill board, some fairly nice dreadnought end style detailing, a little bit of rivet detailing here and along the bottom of the car just above the coupler to simulate the individual body panels on the end of the car. The A end of the car is identical, except that there is no handbrake detailing. Now looking at the roof, you see this nice evenly applied silver paint. You have these diagonal style roofing reinforcements. These are basically like the same thing. On the prototype, these are basically the same thing as like the ridges on the roof of a truck or an SUV. It just helps kind of stiffen the roof up a little bit, give it a little bit more tensile strength. You also have these cast on brakeman's walkway along the top of the roof of the car. It is cast onto the body. It's not a separately applied detail. And you have the texture molded in as if to simulate that it's a see-through grate. But again, like I said, it is cast on, so it is not see-through. And you also have these little grab irons cast on to the corners of the car that match up with the full height ladders on the ends of the car. Okay, so here on the underside of the car, this is a little bit more detailed than I honestly was expecting, but you have the rivet detailing along the edges of the what would be, the floor of the car. You have the frame the main beams of the frame there to help support the weight of the car. You have some brake rigging detailing the brake piston and cylinder. You have the triple valve assembly here, which regulates the flow of the air through the air brake system, and the emergency and service reservoir right here. And as you can see, the truck mounted couplers still in the original mounting mechanism, I guess you could call it. And of course the free rolling plastic wheels.